Generating video with AI is fast, but building a professional video requires navigating a fragmented landscape of disconnected tools. Right now, most creators are stuck in a constant loop of jumping between text generators, image tools, video platforms, and audio editors. This fragmentation exacts a massive operational cost. Every hour you spend downloading zip files, managing messy desktop folders, and transferring assets between tabs is an hour you aren't doing actual creative work. To regain your speed, you have to standardize your process. We use a 4-step framework designed to take a concept from ideation to final video by centralizing the generation and editing phases. The old production model was a slow, linear march from pre-production to final render. AI requires an explosive, rapid-fire cycle of iteration. Learning a new AI tool gives you a temporary boost. Mastering your workflow infrastructure gives you a permanent competitive advantage. Step 1 is idea. Before you open a single generative app, you must define a clear visual and emotional concept. The most common mistake at this stage is the one-and-done prompt. Asking an AI model for a single, simple concept without constraints leaves the creative decision-making up to the machine, which guarantees a generic result. You need a layered prompt. You specify your primary goal, your emotional tone, and your visual constraints. For this project, we are working with a cinematic theme we call the speed of AI innovation, and our instructions dictate high motion, specific lighting, and a fast-paced aesthetic. Once the parameters are set, we move to step 2, generation. This is where we create our raw visual and audio assets. Here, creators fall into the trap of accepting AI slop. Machines produce low-effort outputs by default. Your job is to aggressively apply human taste and filter out anything that feels cheap, inconsistent, or off-brand. This image shows our first successful generation. Look at the specific lighting constraints and the heavy motion blur on the vintage car. By layering our prompt, we forced the AI to deliver a highly stylized cinematic frame. This second photograph reveals a completely different subject, but it maintains the exact same fast-moving, blurred aesthetic. The prompt's tone dictates the visual consistency. Generating these high-quality clips secures your raw materials. The real value of your work is forged in how you combine and refine them. That brings us to step 3, refinement. This is the phase where we layer our voiceover, motion, and pacing together. The traditional relay race of production falls apart here. You cannot treat pre-production, generation, and editing as separate, sequential phases when an AI model can render a new concept in 5 seconds. This animated diagram illustrates the shift. The linear model reshapes into a continuous circular loop. You ideate, generate, and refine simultaneously. Inside this loop, you match audio to visuals, evaluate pacing, and instantly regenerate any asset failing your vibe check. Step 4 is output and tracking, the final assembly of the video. If you skip tracking, you create orphaned lineage. This is an operational nightmare where you finalize a project but have completely lost track of which specific model, text prompt, or commercial license generated a specific clip. When these 4 steps are unified, the 80% reduction in turnaround time reported for AI content tools becomes a reality. This iterative loop allows a single creator to finalize a project in a fraction of the time required for traditional sequential production. However, even with a perfect methodology, you will hit a hard scaling limit if the underlying software platforms you use remain entirely disconnected from one another. The core bottleneck for creators today is that they are forced to manage disparate software applications instead of managing their content. The solution to this fragmented ecosystem is what we call an AI Creator Foundation. Look at this UI mockup of the talent site dashboard. It replaces separate browser tabs with dedicated terminals for video, audio, and images, all contained within a single unified environment. This architecture maps talent site's advantage. The core infrastructure layer coordinates AI operations, connecting terminal layer tools to output layer files. Zooming in to the output layer, a persistent ledger traces every finalized file back to its specific text prompt, model origin, and ownership rights. To scale your production effectively, you have to stop thinking in terms of isolated tools and start operating in holistic workflows. Adopting a unified infrastructure platform like Talentsite gives you the speed and organization to thrive in the modern creator economy. Click the link in the description to set up your workspace and start building.